Well, hello, hello, hello to everybody here. It's Teresa Sanderson. As always, I'm so excited to connect with you today. You know, for the last few weeks, I've been talking with you a lot about nursing continuing education and how to take what you already know and turn it into income. Right now, I just want to let you know there's something really on my heart. And so I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk with you about a passion project of mine called Nurses Feed Their Young. Okay. And it's because right now we're in a special time of year for nurses. We're rapidly getting close to Nurses Week coming in May, and so I really want to prepare something special for nurses and nursing leaders that hopefully can be inspiring and engaging and enough that we as nurses will do everything we can to improve our own culture and work environment. Okay, so I'm going to be offering a complimentary workshop, a nursing continuing education workshop during Nurses Week in 2023 called Making Nurses Matter, Transforming Nursing Culture and Work Environment. So I'm super excited to announce this today. And I want to tell you why. Why is it important that I'm launching this workshop? And so many of you know I've been a nurse for a long time, right? So I've been a nurse more than 30 years, and I first experienced the nurses eating their young type of hazing when I was a nursing student. I didn't even graduate. I didn't even get to formally have my nursing degree and even get licensed when I had already experienced this incivility in the nursing workplace. And what I have found over the last few years is that I'm not the only one, and that there are many nurses who have suffered and struggled with this nurses eating their young mindset and just incivility that has perpetuated and plagued our profession for years. So it's interesting because when I talk about nurses eating their young, a lot of nurses think I'm only talking about new grad nurses or new nurses entering the workforce. And sadly, that's not the case. Nurses eating their young happens not only to new graduate nurses and new nurses to the profession, but it also happens, really sadly, to seasoned nurses who may be floating to a unit that they're not familiar with, or also maybe travel nurses or agency nurses who are coming in to support the staff that is already there, but many times experience this same kind of incivility that results in, just a really poor work environment, low morale, poor nursing culture. And so, in my opinion, it's time for this to stop. It's time for this to just stop. And it's time for us to say collectively as nurses, no more nurses eat their young. Can you say that with me? No more nurses eat their young. This is vitally important. We need to put an end to this cycle of incivility that has been with us for decades. And, nurses eating their young, that's just a destructive pattern that can cause lasting damage to individual nurses, teams, and entire organizations. It's just beyond me that this still perpetuates and lives on and lives strong in nursing units around the world. When I announced the Nurses Feed Their Young movement last year in 2022, I learned from nurses all over the world that this behavior exists on on every continent around the world. And I think that is just really, really sad because we as nurses need to elevate as a profession. We are a profession that values compassion, empathy, caring, right? We're built on that. That is what nursing culture should look like. Yet we can treat each other very, very poorly. And as a profession, in my opinion, and probably some haters going to hate on this, but nurses as professionals don't show up as professionals, don't always behave as professionals. And in my opinion, that's a crying shame. And in my opinion, that is why we can't make a big difference or a big impact when we need to address policy changes and speak to lawmakers and policymakers about what our needs are. Because if we can't represent ourselves professionally, if we can't speak professionally, then it's going to be hard for anybody to listen to us as professionals. Do you see what I'm saying? So I recognize, don't get me wrong, I value nurses. I love nurses. I've been a nurse for a long time. Nursing's been good to me. But I long to see us elevate as a profession. I long to see us step up to the plate and show up and shine like the true professionals we are. Show up and shine like the caring, nurturing individuals that we are. So, as nurses, we have an obligation to promote a positive and supportive workplace culture. We cannot continue to tolerate behavior that undermines the very essence of our profession. Bullying and incivility lead to increased turnover, increased stress and burnout, and poor patient experiences, not to mention poor quality of care. But the good news is we can break the cycle. We can break the cycle. We have the power to do it. We can create a better future for nursing by standing together and creating and fostering a culture of respect and professionalism, communication and collaboration. But we've got to commit to supporting one another in the work environment. So that said, I want to invite you to the very first workshop sponsored by Nurses Feed Their Young, the movement. And the workshop is going to happen Nurses Week 2023, May 8th through the 11th. And it's absolutely free. It's going to provide 3 contact hours of nursing continuing education. And it's titled Making Nurses Matter, Transforming Nursing Culture and Work Environment. In these 4 days that we're going to spend together, we're going to talk about innovative strategies and new ways that we can address age-old problems in nursing. We're going to look at new ways of communicating, new ways of understanding, and new ways of preparing ourselves for the challenges that nurses are going to face in the future. So click the link to get on the wait list for the workshop. I would love to have you in it. And please share this post on your social media pages so we can bring as many nurses and nursing leaders to this workshop as possible. This is so exciting. And it's time for us as nurses to take a stand and say, incivility stops here. We are going to create a better future for not only the new nurses, but for ourselves who are in this right now today. We can do this, gang. We can do it. So it's time for us to build a better future by promoting a nursing culture of kindness, empathy, and excellence. I can't wait to see you in the workshop. Let's chat soon. Bye.